Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Asad Lakis, better known as Bullfunk Zoo. Welcome to my studio called Bullfunk Studios. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how to double up guitars and make them sound bigger in a song and in a mix. So let's check it out. All right, guys, so how do we double up and make guitars sound bigger? There's also many ways to do that. There's a song I wrote called Whiskey, which was on before my last album called Dangerous Radio. And this is a song I wrote about my cat, funny enough. He was a little fatty. He passed on, but you know, shit happens. He was a good boy. His name was Whiskey, funny enough. And on this song, it's kind of got that funky, heavy vibe to it. And I used the whammy pedal on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do to double up the guitars and make them sound bigger, it's not about putting a lot of drive. It's a very heavy driven song, so there's a few ways to do it, but today I'm going to show you one way of doing it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to use two different guitars, maybe with different pickups and different overdrive pedals, because some of you have only one amp to go through. So what can you do with one amp, example? All right, you can also change settings in your amp and all that, but I'm going to keep them the same way so make your life easier. All right, so today I'm going to use my trusty James Tyler Burning Water, which I've had for many, many years. This thing's been on the road and it's worn out, but it's my little baby. And this is actually the initial guitar I recorded that song on. So I'm going to play you the rhythm section for now. There's no guitars on there, just so you could hear where this is going to go. So, and it goes something like this. So, yep, that is the song, and the part is actually a lot of fun. So on this one, I'm going to be using my Tyler again, and I'm going to slap it on the bridge pickup just to get more of that heaviness out of it, which gives me that kind of sound. And I'm going to be using my Wampler Dual Fusion on one of the channels. Thanks to Brian Wampler. Yes, he's been helping me out a lot with pedals, and I've used this on many live gigs and many recordings and whatnot. So we're gonna go on through that, and at the same time I'm gonna be using my Digitech whammy pedal, which I have it at 1 octave up because it needs it in one of the sections, and it goes something like this, right? All right, so that entails for that section. And the amp is set straight, actually. I just have the preamp boost. The EQs are actually bypassed, and it's just driving. So the actual sound of the amp is clean this way. Right? And with a little bit of drive. All right, this amp is being mic'd by two mics in the ISO cabinet, which is a 57 and a Roy R10. And those are both running into my Manly Forest preamp. And I malted them, and I'm gonna commit to that sound. So I'm gonna print them both the same time rather than not. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the song, the first section, and I'm gonna play the guitar for you, see how it sounds. Then we're gonna double up the guitar and see what we can get a different tone. So remember this sound first. So that's the kind of the sound I want, which is kind of very rocky, heavier sound, I should say. And we're gonna kick off with the recording. So I have one channel set right now called Guitar 1, and it's record enabled at this time. And we're gonna kick it off.
funky cat, his name is Whiskey, thinks he saw that.
All right, guys, so now we've recorded this first part, so let's hear how it sounds with the song and see what's the second guitar to complement this sound and to make it sound bigger. Let's go.
I got a little funk.
All right, cool. So yeah, there's a few messy points in there, but that's all right. We just need to show you how to make guitars sound bigger. So as you notice right now, the guitars sound crunched up, which is what we want, the initial sound. Cool. So now what I want to do is I'm going to record a second guitar on there. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn around and use a different type of guitar. So let's do that. So now we know that we have what we can do. I mean, there's many ways to do this. We can change amps, you can change mics, you can change different preamps, you can change different guitars and so forth. But today I'm going to switch a different guitar to complement the other sound. I'm going to use my trusty Strat with a single coils, which has a nice clean tone to it. And the previous guitar, I used the bridge pickup on it to get more of that screamy, wild sound because the whammy will pick up more on the harmonics on that. And I ran it into the Dual Fusion by Wampler. Thank you, Mr. Brian Wampler, for giving me this pedal. And it was on drive mode. So with the actual Fusion, whoops. Got that sound. I don't want that. I'm going to use a different overdrive pedal on a cleaner tone. And this is the Dualist by King Tone, and it has a really nice, clear sound to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use kind of... So kind of that sound I think will complement the sound. But now I need to calibrate on volume, so I'm just going to push up the volume a bit more on this pedal. All right, let's crack on and record this bad boy and see how it sounds with the other one.
I got a little funky cat, his name is Whiskey, thinks he saw that.
Okay, guys, so we've done the first guitar one, which, you know what, I'm going to call this one the Tyler. So I know which guitar I'm dealing with. And guitar 2, which we recorded, I'm going to call it the Strat, or I called it Start. No, maybe I should call it just Strat, right? Let me fix that. Okay, so for some reason here I got 2 takes. Okay, we just need 1. All right, so the Tyler Alone, let's hear the Tyler Alone with the mix, which is more of the heavier sound with the bridge pickup going into the song. And I'm gonna mute the Strat and see how it sounds by itself with the mix. Cool, now we got that sound. All right, let's mute that and let's just hear the Strat this time of how it sounds. And while the Strat's playing, I'm gonna plug in the other guitar together and see how they sound. Now they're both panned straight right in the middle. So as you can hear, the Strat is a clean tone. So what I usually do is, the cleanliness is usually what gives you that bigger sound, because with overdrive and distortion, it automatically compresses the sound smaller. It does sound heavier, but it's a bit smaller. But with clean tones, it sounds a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna blend both the guitars in for you to hear how they sound together. And it goes like this. With just one. Now with both. Yeah, we get more volume to hear it. But here's the magic to this. The magic to this is panning.
I got a little funky.
You get that with the panning? It works, doesn't it? It widens it up. It sounds a lot bigger. All right, so this is how I make my guitars sound bigger. I usually record if it's a distorted part, I would do a distorted part, and then I do a clean part on top of it. Sometimes I might do a third part, but if it really needs it. I don't want to overdo it, because in the end, I have to play it really tight, and I haven't played this section really tight together, but the whole purpose of this video is to show you how to make guitars sound bigger and wider. And I'll play that last again. And here we go. With the panned left and right. Here we go. Solo.
I got a little.
All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode on doubling guitars and making them sound bigger. Heavy guitars doesn't mean to throw more overdrive, actually the less drive you have, the bigger they're gonna sound, the more you multiply them. Yes, in this video I had one of the guitars was pretty heavy. Well, it's crazy heavy, it's not metal heavy, but it was heavy enough. And the second guitar was clean. And if you notice how the space opened up just because of the clean sound, and I panned the clean to the far right and heavy to the far left, right? And then I blended it in back in, not completely far, so they kind of sync in together. Obviously, the key to this is to play everything precisely as much as you can. Also, it creates more of that doubling effect, obviously, because we're doubling the guitars. And another way to do it is to do two different clean guitars, and you'll still get that really nice heavy sound, a bigger, wider sound. That's how I do it. Some people put a lot of overdrive and another drive. What happens is they feel that it's gonna sound bigger, but it actually ends up sounding smaller and narrower. It does sound heavier, but the soundscapes sound smaller and heavier. Well, to my ears though. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, and do all that good stuff on the social media thing. And I will see you guys next time. Happy mixing, recording, writing, playing, recording. Did I say recording twice? I'm gonna say it 3 times. Happy recording. All right, see y'all later. Bye.